No matter the location, from O-A-K-L-A to L-V, I'm a Raider.
Raider Nation, what's going on? You're watching the Raiders Report. Before I get into the latest news and rumors, I got to give some love to Magic Spoon. Usually I love to spoon, but now I love to spoon even more because it's magical. Thanks to Magic Spoon. Go to magicspoon.com/Raiders and use code Raiders at checkout to save $5 off your very first order. My personal favorites, frosted, cinnamon, cocoa. I've been in love with the cocoa for a long time. Get the variety of 4-box. That way you can try all their awesome flavors. So what you guys are going to see on today's show is I'm going to go through the latest news that happened at training camp today. And then at the end, I'm going to give you my 2 cents on the whole Raiders requiring vaccinations at Allegiant Stadium. The first thing here is the players that weren't at practice today. Jalen Richard still dealing with that foot injury, out indefinitely. John Brown, Darius Stills, the DT, UDFA, really starting to scare me. Not sure if he's really going to be able to make this squad if he's not playing. Kwiatkoski was unable to practice today, and then Darron Lee as well. One of the things that did happen today that I was like, okay, I remember Coney. So if you don't remember him, he was a UDFA out of Notre Dame, and I actually had a pretty high grade on him when he was coming out of the draft. I was excited that the Raiders ultimately signed him, but today they brought him back. He also practiced today. He might go ahead and play this weekend. He might be just one of these depth players / special teams. I do think the reason why he was brought on is because Lee's battling an injury. Deablo, even though he did practice today, he was battling an injury. Kwiatkoski was battling a little bit of an injury, but this is a guy who has never stepped foot on a field, at least in terms of defense in a regular season game, but he has some special teams, and he's also been on the Raiders practice squad the last 2 years. So here's what the new Raiders linebacking depth chart looks like, and this is based off a 4-3 front. I know some people have messaged me like, oh, Mitch, that's not what the Raiders are going to do. The Raiders are going to do so many different looks at the linebacking position. So that's just something to keep in mind. But Littleton, Morrow, the name important there that I wanted to update is Coney, and yes, also all the other linebackers that they got rid of. Now, if you guys are trying to stay up to date on all the things going on around the Raiders, we were voted the best Raiders YouTube channel by my mother, and if that's not good enough, I don't know what is. So hit that notification bell. That way you guys don't miss a thing. And what makes Raider Nation great? We're family. If you're repping silver and black, I'm going to say, yo, what's up to you on the side of the street? If you yell Raiders, I'm going to yell Raiders back. And if that's the type of person you are, this is the channel for you. I also want to give some love to some new subscribers because over the last 48 hours, we've actually gotten close to 1,000 new subs. And that's just what happens when the preseason comes rolling in, the regular season. You guys, more subs equals more video. So shout out to Big News. Shout out to CH4, W3Z, Gustavo Ventura, Jaimes Gaming, and the Luz Rivera. Appreciate you. I'm glad that you tuned into the Raiders Report and joined the best family on YouTube. Let's get into probably the best news of the day. Darren Waller. Guess who's back again? It's Darren Waller. I'm super excited. This man hasn't practiced since August 2nd. Back out onto the football field. What I thought was really interesting about this is all the reports before today were like, Waller's dealing with an ankle injury. Apparently, that's not true. So Vic Tafur went on and said that the report of Waller battling an ankle injury was kind of like a cover-up, and that the real reason why he was missing practice was undisclosed. So I'm curious to know if anything actually comes out. I also heard from another source that he was dealing with some family issues, so that could be something to keep in mind. Bottom line is this. Before the preseason game on Saturday, Darren Waller's running routes, he's catching passes, and he looks like the best tight end in football. Today, back out onto the practice field, everyone can take a big old sigh of relief that Waller is A-OK. So here's my question. Do you want Waller to play this weekend? I want you to type P for play, or I want you to type S for sit out. Obviously, if he's out there on the field, I'm going to be watching him like a hawk. But if he's out there in a preseason game, every time he catches it, I'm going to be like, oh my God, don't get hurt, don't get hurt, don't get hurt. And I don't really want to do that. Obviously, I want to see Waller out there. But we all know what Waller's got, so I'm actually going to go ahead. I'm going to type my S for sit out, though if he does play, I am going to be very excited about it. Let's go to the next guy that was at practice today. It's Marcus Mariota. Can I get some M&Ms down there in the comment section? Back out onto the practice field. I was excited that I got to see Nathan Peterman play, right? I mean, he played basically 99.9% of the game. But I want to see Mariota out there. I don't think we're going to see this secret Mariota package shown against the Rams, but if we can see him out on the field working in and out of this offense just a little bit more, and then we get a cherry on top with Peterman, hey, I'm all about it. Another player that returned to practice today, Karl Joseph. Joseph is one of those dudes that I actually think he's going to be able to contribute a lot to this defense. I mean, just a few years ago, I would have made the argument he was probably the best player in that secondary. Excuse me. That's blaming everyone from earlier in the Raiders Report show for making me drink beer. But now he's going to be a backup to Jonathan Abram. He can also play a little bit of safety as well. I can't wait to see how he can be this hybrid type of safety that's going to drop back into coverage, but also can come up to the line of scrimmage and be a box safety, where I really think he dominates pretty well. Speaking of boxes, the best box to open up right now is a shout out to Magic Spoon. Go ahead and take advantage of this deal I got going on right now. The flavor that you see on screen is fruity. Imagine eating healthy Fruit Loops and like getting 14 grams of protein, 0 grams of sugar, only 4 grams of net carbs, and like 150 calories per bowl. This stuff is so good. Like, it's almost too good to be true, where if you put it in your bowl and you're eating it, and believe me, I know Raider fans, they love their bowls, right? You know what I'm talking about. But this cereal, you guys would absolutely demolish it. And now, like, I get asked a lot, what flavors would you go out and try, right? Because there are a lot, and I don't know about you, like if I go to a store and I'm looking at 12 different kind of flavors, I'm like, oh my God, what the hell do I pick? Get the variety box. Get the variety box. You guys can get 4 different types of flavors. So I love the cocoa. The blueberry is very good as well. Cinnamon is just a recent flavor that I tried. They got cinnamon. They have cinnamon. They have maple waffle. They got all bunch of brand new flavors. Cookies and cream. Cocoa. Like, dude, this stuff is amazing. Plus, they are so confident that you're going to like their cereal. If you don't like it, you get your money back. Like, what better deal is that? Imagine going to a Raiders game that you pay for. Imagine going to that Falcons game last year, right? You pay all that money, go to a Falcons game, sorry, Graphic Raider, and you watch the Raiders lose 43-6, and you're like, well, shit, I want my money back. Like, that's what this cereal is. It's an amazing product, and it's going to help you eat healthier, and it tastes really good as well. It's magicspoon.com/Raiders. $5 off your very first order. If you forget what the link is, look down there below. It's also going to be in the comments section and in the description. All right, we got more practice news today coming out. Isaiah Johnson. Last week I did a video about my top winners and losers. My biggest loser in that video was Isaiah Johnson. If you haven't seen the video yet, spoiler alert. But the reason why I put him in there is because the cornerback position, so far, the corners for the Raiders, I actually think, have been playing a halfway decent job. The issue with him is he hasn't been able to stay healthy. Now, I loved when he came out of Houston. A long, lanky corner. That's exactly what Gus Bradley wants. But this is a guy that needs to play this week, and he needs to earn a spot on this roster, or else he's gone. All right, what about Divine Deablo? You know I love me some double Ds. So first practice today, 6'3", 226-pound dude. He's going to be able to play linebacker, and I can't wait to see how he fits in a Gus Bradley system, sideline to sideline. Also, I think in a pinch, he could also play safety. Do you know why? He played safety at Virginia Tech. But the fact that he's back out there on the practice field today for the very first time, both him and Johnson, very first time they're on the practice field the entire training camp, that's exciting to see, and I am really, really hoping that those guys end up playing against the Los Angeles Rams. It still sounds weird to say, doesn't it? I definitely think so. All right, so now the topic that we're going to get into here is probably the biggest topic right now going on around the NFL and around the Raiders, and it's about the COVID-19 with the Raiders. So I tweeted this out yesterday, and I was actually on ESPN Honolulu, and I kind of broke this news over the radio, and people were like, what the heck are you talking about? I'm like, yeah, this is what happened. And then I was trying to tweet. But the Raiders will require all attendees at Allegiant Stadium this year to show proof of COVID-19 vaccination. Masks will not be mandatory at games. The Raiders are the first NFL team with a vaccine/no mask policy. If you haven't already given me a follow on Twitter, please do. Been trying to get that blue check mark, but man, that shit's tough to get. So I want to know, y'all, and let's have an adult conversation about this, because I get that people are passionate, and I get sometimes, people are like, oh, let's talk about football. Well, guess what? This impacts the Raiders. So we're going to have an adult conversation. If you're watching this live, go in the live poll right now, and you can get your votes in. Do you think this is smart, or do you think this is dumb? Because in the live poll, 66% of the votes right now are saying that, yes, it is a smart thing to do. The Raiders are requiring vaccinations for home games. I want you to type S for smart, or I want you to go ahead and type D for dumb. Coming up right now is what Mark Davis had to say about the whole reasoning behind all the vaccinations. And basically, some other things that I just thought were personally good for y'all to know. Season ticket holders who choose to not get vaccinated have the choice to either A, get a full refund on this year's remaining tickets, or B, roll over the cost to next year and get 10 games for the price of 9. All right, 10 games for the price of 9. Season ticket holders could also conceivably sell their tickets, but if they do that, there will be no refund. Vaccination shots will be available on site before games, and if someone gets their first shot, they will be admitted to the game, but will have to wear a mask until they become fully vaccinated. Here's the last part, because right before I started the show, I actually had somebody in the comments like, oh, I wanted to take my kid, but I can't. Well, let's actually just read this part. Children 12 and under will have to wear a mask since they are not eligible for the vaccine. This is not about the person getting the shot, but about the person sitting next to them. I know a lot of people don't believe in the vaccine, and some don't believe the virus is real. This was not an easy decision, but the right decision. It gives us the certainty of a season without masks. So I actually thought Jon Gruden spoke today about without masks, and even Derek Carr had a few things to say. But Gruden was like, guess what? We are louder without masks, and that's 100% true. And I don't know if we'll ever be able to replicate the Coliseum, but maybe we can get close. So the app that if you guys want to go to a Raiders game that you're going to have to download is this one. It's called the Clear app. Literally just download it. If you want to go ahead and give it a 5-star rating, you can. I will say it's going to take about 5 to 10 minutes to get all your information on there, and then that way you can update it. But if you want to go to a Raiders game, you're going to have to download this Clear app. So again, do you think it's smart or do you think it's dumb that the Raiders are requiring vaccinations for home games? I'm going to give you guys my opinion, because anytime stuff like this happens, people are always like, well, Mitch, what do you personally think? Now, I will say this. I am vaccinated. I got it, and I got it because I wanted to be able to work. I wanted to be able to do whatever the hell I wanted to do, travel, visit family, and I felt like that I was doing the smart thing to do. But I know there's a lot of people upset about it. Here's my take on it. Life is about choices, and it's really as simple as that. Whether you complain about it, it's probably not going to fix it. If you don't complain about it, it's probably not going to fix it. So the Raiders, they're giving you a choice. You can either get the vaccine, and you can go to the game. That's choice A. If you don't like that decision, that's fine. Then you're going to make the choice and say, I'm not going to get the vaccine, but then you can't go to the game. I will respect the fact that right now Mark Davis is saying that people that got tickets can do something else. The only unfortunate part is I know people that are spending, honestly, like 10 grand on a game in terms of trying to get family members there. They've already paid for flights, and now they're like, well, I don't want to get vaccinated, and now I'm out on that money. Yes, that definitely sucks. There's no doubt about that. But I'm a young man, and I've already gone through a lot of things in life where sometimes you get the short end of the stick, but at the end of the day, you do still have a choice. That's my take on it. If you want to go to the game, get vaccinated. If you're not going to get vaccinated, then I'm sorry. I don't think you can complain about it anymore. So basically, this is what the Raiders put out right before I went on live here on the show. Fully vaccinated plus the Clear app equals you don't have to wear a mask to the game. Face mask required if you are partially vaccinated or under the age of 2 and 11. So something to think about. I know the COVID has been kind of a crazy topic for basically the last 18 months, and it's never something I thought I would ever talk about, but it is my job to cover the Raiders, and this is part of covering the Raiders. All right, next thing coming up here is if you guys want to hit me up on IG, please do so at MitchellRents365, but I'm going to start something new today. I want to start a new trend where every single week I'm going to do something where I'm going to ask you guys to do something on Instagram, and then basically I want to show the entire world. I want to show Chat Sports. I want to show everyone that watches this show how amazing Raider Nation is. So if you want to come on the Raiders Report, here's your chance. So here's my challenge for this week. I want you to post your best Raiders costume. So I know some people dress up as Thor. I know somebody dresses up as Halo. I know somebody dresses up as a giant Raiders robot. I know there's, Gorilla Rilla. Like, there's so many amazing costumes among Raider Nation. And I know you guys get crazy. So if you want to come on the Raiders Report, post a picture on Instagram and make sure you tag me at MitchellRents365. Basically what I'm going to do is for the entire week, I'm going to look for pictures. I'm going to take my favorites, and then I'm going to put you up on the show. And then next week's live show on Tuesday, I'm going to make a new challenge. It could be chugging a beer in your Raiders gear. It could be running a 40-yard dash. I don't know what it's going to be yet, but I want to do this because I want to get more people here on the Raiders Report, and I want to just show how crazy everyone is and why we're the best fan base that there is. So, post your best Raiders costume, tag me on Instagram, and I'm going to feature my favorites next week. Can you guys do that for me? Please go ahead and do so. Don't let me down.